If you are like most people, you don't know some of the things that happened in your birth year. Sure, some of these things might be ancient history, some might bring back fond memories, and some you might find surprisingly relevant today. For those of you watching born in 1985, congratulations! You're turning 40. Sit back and relax, and let's review 20 forgotten events that made life in America. Be sure to stick around for the last one because you might remember your family having one of these cars. New shows. It was the year when ingenuity, comedy, and adventure exploded on television screens across America. MacGyver, starring Richard Dean Anderson, was a man who could save the day with nothing but a paperclip. Moonlighting brought us new stars, including Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. You wouldn't believe the things this feisty group of senior ladies say in The Golden Girls. Thundercats made Gen X kids run back home after school. These debuts didn't just define television, they set standards for storytelling, humor, and adventure that influenced generations.
If this sauce was a person, I'd get naked and make love to her.
We are the champions. Beginning on January 20th, the San Francisco 49ers crushed the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl XIX as Dan Marino's only Super Bowl appearance. Baseball fans were treated to an underdog story as the Kansas City Royals triumphed over the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series. The Los Angeles Lakers edged the Boston Celtics in a classic battle featuring Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Edmonton Oilers dominated the Stanley Cup with Wayne Gretzky at the helm. And let's not forget Villanova's NCAA basketball title over Georgetown, a victory etched in the annals of college sports as one of the greatest upsets.
It'd be cool to have you and Montana watch it together.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool for him.
Whitney. On February 14th, the world was introduced to a voice like no other. Whitney Houston's debut album shattered records and redefined pop music with hits like Saving All My Love for You and How Will I Know. Her vocal range and emotional delivery didn't just set the charts on fire, they began a career that would inspire countless artists and captivate audiences for decades. The album's success dominated the radio and set a new standard for vocal talent, leaving an indelible mark on the music industry.
So I'm saving all my love for you.
Iron Mike. The boxing world changed forever on March 6th when 18-year-old Mike Tyson entered the professional ring. He showcased his ferocity and speed in a first-round knockout against Hector Mercedes, leaving spectators in awe. This debut marked the start of a meteoric rise that would redefine the sport and captivate fans worldwide. His unmatched intensity made him a household name, and his story of triumph and adversity continues to be a defining chapter in the history of boxing.
And if that is it in round one, that is a pretty impressive professional debut.
Oscars. The Academy Awards celebrated films that moved and inspired. Amadeus explores the intense rivalry between composers Antonio Salieri and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, told through Salieri's envious perspective. Amadeus took home 8 Oscars, including F. Murray Abraham for Best Actor for his portrayal of Salieri. The Killing Fields and A Passage to India were big winners, highlighting powerful historical events. The Killing Fields chronicles the harrowing experiences of Cambodian journalist Dith Pran and American reporter Sidney Schenberg during the Khmer Rouge regime's atrocities. A Passage to India examines the cultural clashes and misunderstandings between British colonizers and Indians, sparked by a controversial incident during a trip to the Marabar Caves.
The winner is F. Murray Abraham.
WrestleMania. March 31st ushered in a new era of professional wrestling with the inaugural WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden, featuring World Wrestling Federation icons like Hulk Hogan and Mr. T battling Paul Orndorff and Rowdy Roddy Piper. It was a star-studded event, including pop star Cyndi Lauper, Muhammad Ali as a referee, and Liberace with the Rockettes. This spectacle blended athleticism and drama in a way that captivated audiences and laid the foundation for a global phenomenon. Over 19,000 people were in attendance, and over 1 million watched on pay-per-view. WrestleMania wasn't just a wrestling event, it became a pop culture phenomenon, proving that sports and theatrics could combine to create unforgettable entertainment. Like a Virgin. The Virgin Tour lasted 2 months and began on April 10th. It was Madonna's first major tour, and it dazzled the country. With provocative performances and a groundbreaking style, she challenged norms and cemented her status as a pop icon. She performed hits like Lucky Star, Borderline, Holiday, Material Girl, and, of course, Like a Virgin. Her unapologetic artistry inspired conversations about individuality and freedom of expression, securing her place as a cultural trailblazer. Don't fix it! On April 23rd, one of the boldest marketing moves in history was the launch of New Coke. The backlash was swift and intense, prompting Coca-Cola to reintroduce the original formula as Coca-Cola Classic by July. This saga became a lesson in consumer loyalty and the emotional ties people form with iconic brands. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. New Coke slowly faded until it was discontinued in 1992. It remains a fascinating example of how even successful companies can misread their consumers, yet turn controversy into a legacy-defining moment.
What's the matter, Wilbur?
They changed my Coke.
Something wrong with it?
I know, they sure changed it.
His airness. On May 16th, Michael Jordan was named the NBA Rookie of the Year, but not before the NBA famously banned his black and red Air Jordan sneakers for violating uniform regulations. This ban sparked controversy and skyrocketed Jordan's and his shoes' popularity. Jaw-dropping dunks and unmatched skill mark his electrifying style of play. During his outstanding rookie season, he averaged 28.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game, leading the Chicago Bulls to the playoffs and earning a spot in the All-Star game. His debut season began an unparalleled journey, a cultural icon, and one of the greatest basketball players ever.
Who has it on the break? Driving all the way in! Oh, God! An unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts!
Get your kicks on. The American Association of State Highway and Transportation officially decertified Route 66 on June 27th, marking the end of an era for America's Mother Road. Immortalized in song and literature, this highway represented freedom and adventure. The decline of Route 66 began in 1956 when President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Interstate Highway Act. New interstates, especially I-40, began to siphon traffic from Route 66. Although no longer an official route, its legacy endures, reminding us of simpler times and the romance of cross-country travel. Classics and blockbusters. The year delivered cinematic gems, starting with classics like the Coen brothers' Blood Simple and John Hughes' The Breakfast Club. Summer brought us blockbusters Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop, and The Goonies. It was an excellent year for Sylvester Stallone with Rocky IV and Rambo: First Blood. Later in the year, we had the acclaimed movies The Color Purple and Out of Africa. Whether through laughter, adventure, or inspiration, these films continue to evoke nostalgia and remain beloved classics. End hunger. On July 13th, the world came together for Live Aid, a concert charity event to combat famine in Ethiopia. This mega event featured approximately 75 performances across Wembley Stadium in London and JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. Supergroup USA for Africa released the song We Are the World and became a global phenomenon. Performances by legends like Freddie Mercury and Queen inspired millions and showcased music's power to unite. Live Aid was watched by an estimated 1.9 billion people in 150 countries, making it one of the most watched events in history. The event raised approximately $127 million for famine relief in Ethiopia and became a blueprint for using art as a force for global good. Splitsville. In August, the split between David Lee Roth and Van Halen marked the end of an 11-year partnership that defined rock music. Formed in 1974 in Pasadena, California, the band skyrocketed to fame with hit albums like Van Halen and 1984, producing classics such as Jump and Panama. However, creative differences and ego clashes, particularly between Roth and Eddie Van Halen, reached a breaking point after 1984, their most successful album. Roth embarked on a solo career, while the band replaced him with Sammy Hagar. Despite the split, both achieved success, fueling a legendary rivalry in rock history. Found. On September 1st, the discovery of the Titanic's wreck reignited global fascination. Resting deep beneath the Atlantic, this find spurred documentaries, exhibitions, and James Cameron's iconic film. The Titanic sank in the early hours of April 15, 1912, after striking an iceberg. The disaster occurred in the North Atlantic Ocean during the ship's maiden voyage from Southampton, England to New York City. The Titanic lay 2.5 miles beneath the ocean's surface for 73 years until it was found. The wreckage was a poignant reminder of humanity's ambition and the tragedies often accompanying it. The discovery brought history to life, bridging the past and present in a way that continues to captivate imaginations.
But Eva survived and still carries vivid memories of that night. We reached Eva Hart at her home in Chadwell Heath, near London.
Support our farmers. On September 22nd, Farm Aid was organized by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young to support struggling farmers. Held in Champaign, Illinois, this concert spotlighted rural challenges and launched a movement advocating sustainable farming practices. Musicians Bob Dylan, Billy Joel, B.B. King, Loretta Lynn, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, and many more rallied for this great cause and raised over $9 million for American farmers. Today, Farm Aid is an annual event. These concerts have featured numerous renowned artists and have raised millions of dollars to support family-run farms.
To the dirty boulevard going down.
Blockbuster and chill. On October 9th, the first Blockbuster video store opened in Dallas, Texas. Offering thousands of movies for rental, it revolutionized home entertainment. At its peak in 2004, Blockbuster employed over 84,000 people worldwide and operated over 9,000 stores across 25 countries. Though now nostalgic, Blockbuster's influence defined an era of Friday night traditions and family movie nights. Its rise and fall reflect the evolution of media consumption in the digital age.
The last standing Blockbuster here at Bend, Oregon. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited!
The console. On October 18th, Nintendo introduced the Nintendo Entertainment System console in New York City as a test. It was their attempt at reviving a struggling video game industry. The NES retailed for $179.99, which is $550 today. It included the toy robot accessory, Rob, a light gun called the NES Zapper, 2 controllers, and 2 games, Gyromite and Duck Hunt, which captured imaginations and set the stage for gaming's future. The national release of the NES didn't come until a year later on September 27, 1986. The NES remains a cornerstone of gaming history and pop culture. Its success paved the way for video games, including the iconic Super Mario Bros., to become a dominant entertainment system worldwide. Meeting of the Superpowers. On November 19th, President Ronald Reagan and Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev met at the Geneva Summit. It was the first meeting between the two leaders in 6 years. This first step toward ending the Cold War symbolized hope and diplomacy. While no formal agreements were signed, the two leaders agreed to reduce nuclear weapons and began the groundwork for future arms control treaties. This historic meeting marked a turning point in global relations, paving the way for a new era of cooperation and inspiring optimism for peace. Windows. On November 20th, a quiet revolution began as Microsoft released Windows 1.0, forever changing how Americans interacted with computers. Gone were the days of cryptic command lines. Suddenly, a simple click could open a world of possibilities. Its bright blue interface and tiled windows hinted at a future where technology would become accessible to everyone, not just tech wizards. Though basic by today's standards, Windows 1.0 symbolized the dawn of a digital age. It was a time of floppy disks, dot matrix printers, and optimism, as the hum of innovation promised a connected world yet to come. Bestsellers. Coming in as the number 5 best-selling car of the year was the Oldsmobile Sierra. Known for its comfort and dependability, the Oldsmobile Sierra was a top pick among drivers looking for class without hurting their wallets. The mid-size Chevy celebrity stood out with its spacious interior and smooth ride. As a compact car with solid performance and practicality, the Ford Escort became a go-to option for commuters. The Chevy Cavalier combined affordability and fuel efficiency, making it a popular choice for budget-conscious drivers. Coming in at number 1, America's favorite truck, the Ford F-Series offered rugged reliability and versatility.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
There you have it. If you enjoyed this video, watch another one. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video next.